Many of my role models have claimed and have consistently motivated their followers to pursue past situations that may seem difficult or unwarranted or unfair. I made a video a long time ago that hopefully showed that life is incredibly unfair, and that's actually what makes it beautiful too. The fact that we have situations that occur in our lives that are unfair, perhaps an unfair advantage, should not be looked at as something that is not to be passed. It should be looked at something that is a standard in life. And I think a lot of us fear failure. I think a lot of us fear situations where we don't feel all that great about ourselves. And I wanted to create this video to let you know that how important it is actually to embrace those circumstances and have the courage to pursue them regardless. Earlier today, I made a post about taking two steps back, maybe two steps back, and to make one step forward. And the reality is sometimes we kind of have to do this. I saw this interview of Jeff Bezos talking about true lateral thinking, true creative thought, and how difficult it is to come up with something that is completely brand new, completely novel to the workplace and to culture in general. Because we are so stuck with the things that we know. We are so enthralled with the ideas that we have, and we believe that the best way forward is often to build off of things that we already know well, things that we have been comfortable with, or at least grow comfortable with over time. And I think it's very important to give ourselves space. I think it's very important to give ourselves the time and the stimuli even to really step outside of the bounds of what we're used to, because without that, life can seem kind of linear, right? It can seem very daunting to go forward again and again and again and not really know where we're headed. Sometimes it can feel daunting to move forward again and again knowing exactly where we're headed because everything's laid out for us. Like, there's plenty of movies, plenty of pop cultural references that will question whether or not we have this kind of fated life, whether or not we really do exude change in our life, whether or not we actually are in charge of our destinies. And I think this kind of fear of failure, this fear of trying new things, is a sure shot to not actually getting those unique ideas, to not actually using our creativity. Adam Grant, if you had a chance to check out his TED Talk, talks about creative people. He talks about the fact that the most creative people in society are not the ones that super procrastinate until the last moment, and they're not the people that start assignments and things right off the bat. They're the people that are kind of right in the middle. Well, they'll open up an assignment, they'll open up a rubric or something, and mull over it for a little while and give their subconscious some time to come up with solutions that they wouldn't have immediately. And I've been trying this out for more or less for a lot of years, and it's a lot of it really was just an intuitive thing because I am a creative person, I think, innately. But now that I have that kind of backbone, that research based on someone that I really respect, I realize how much has made a difference in my life, and how situations where I might have felt like I was stagnating or not necessarily moving at the pace of my colleagues and other people, how formative those moments are in terms of accelerating me in my life. And so I just, if you're going through something rough in your life, if you're going through a phase of monotony, a phase of deep depression, if you're going through something that most people are not going to encounter, the reality is that the fruits of that situation, the fruits of that stress and uncertainty are way sweeter than people that are just going to pursue this path one step at a time and really not fail at all. And this also goes to point out that the people that we see as overnight successes, the people that we see all the time as role models or people to model our lives over, tend to be people that have failed significantly more than other people. by virtue of trying this creative process out all the time. If we don't take that energy, that step to embrace the fact that something might not work, we're going to be limiting the exact niche that we need to occupy in order to feel satisfied and like we're moving forward in life. I was talking to some of my staff at my job, and I realized that whenever I brought to them conversations about their future, their life, goals of wealth, goals of happiness, pursuits that are beyond the immediate satisfaction of just performing well at work, their eyes lit up. They felt that not only was someone listening to them, but that this conversation was actually very productive in their life as a whole, and ended up giving them a lot of energy to actually pursue that workday, actually pursue some of the monotonous things that are required to make things function. And I think it's very important to give ourselves that thought. It's very important to give ourselves that time, because without it, life can seem very monotonous, and it can seem very linear, very streamlined. And at the end of it, I think our happiness does come from novel situations, novelty, novel ideas, things we don't expect. And giving ourselves the space, the time to embrace those things, to actually understand them, I think is super, super important, because it's character formation. It really is. I mean, if we don't fail and scratch our knee every now and then, if we don't take it on the chin, if we don't embrace discomfort, we're not going to grow. That's always been the case. That's been the case for evolution, and certainly for human progress in life. So take it as it is. And if you're finding it difficult to think laterally, to have different circumstances in your life, to come up with new ideas, my recommendation is switch it up from what you're used to. And this takes a lot of courage, and it takes a lot of patience. But taking a big risk oftentimes in life is going to make you into a stronger person. Even if you fail, even if the risk doesn't pan out, the process of becoming someone that is willing to take that risk is worth it in the end. Basically, one step back for the ability to go two step forwards beyond a wall that we had created for ourselves through certain agreements or certain, world philosophies that were imposed on us even. And this could mean that you cut people out of your life. This could mean that you change jobs. This could mean that you invest a significant amount of money in a course that promises you something that's kind of a pie in the sky type of thing, but people have come out of it with success. There are limitless opportunities for us to grow as people. But we have to go and find those opportunities. Oftentimes, we have to go and make those opportunities for ourselves. And you'll find this when you go and listen to courses by Tony Robbins. If you listen to any really motivational speaker, they will say that, listen, you need to create a situation where there are no alternatives in order to really make yourself grow. You need to put yourself in a confined space. And this actually goes to a quote that one of my favorite drummers told me a long time ago. Not me personally, but through a video that I was learning, like stick control or something. And he said that limitation is the genesis of creativity. Limitation is the genesis of creativity. So in some ways, like I'm telling you to take risks, I'm telling you to step out, to not limit yourself. But to force yourself, to allow yourself to really dwell in that discomfort, there must be things in your life that you alter altogether so that you can't immediately go back to your comfort zone. So that you need to spend some amount of time uncomfortable in order to grow. And hopefully this inspires you. Hopefully it's not too confusing. Oftentimes these kind of more important things in life turn out pretty paradoxical. But I'm sure you can find situations in your life where you're gonna have to step out of your comfort zone, and you're gonna have to invest a significant amount of time, energy, or money into something. Put yourself in those situations for the sake of you and for the sake of our society growing, humanity growing. Hopefully you found this interesting. Smash that thumbs up, helps me a lot. Throw me a comment, something that you might be struggling with, something that seems like is holding you back, a lack of lateral thinking potentially. And subscribe if you haven't already. If you got a second, check out this video. This projector right here is a video. And it talks about consistency, something a little bit on the other edge of this very paradoxical, important thought process. Take care of yourself. The world needs you. Cheers.